Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Rome 2 Total War. Today we're going to be taking a look at two more replays. I've been told that the first is a short replay and the second one is a slightly longer replay. These were once again sent in by my good friend Big Hoss. He's going to play the Arevaci in both of these battles. He said I'm going to learn a thing or two about the Scuttari while watching this video. So his first opponent is Veldic as the Swaby, and the second one is against Joe Cool of 2009 playing as Carthage. So let's go ahead and watch the first replay here against Swaby. Alright, so here we are on the field of battle. Here's the Iberians, or the Arevaci. Let's take a look at what he's got here. He's got a front line of spearmen, Iberian spearmen. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of these Iberian spearmen, which is a medium spear infantry. They don't look like medium, they look like light spears, but it's not my place to judge. Then here's the Scuttari, the legendary Scuttari. Medium melee infantry. He's got a shit ton of those. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of those. 1 painted warrior, which has some pretty high melee attack, 32 charge bonus, good base morale. Okay. These Scuttari versus painted warriors, 42, 44. So it really does come down to charge with these painted warriors. That's where they're getting their big bonus from. He's also got a pretty good cavalry contingent of these Celta Iberian cavalry. Kind of a mix between Celtic and Iberian styled cavalry here. They are melee cav. His general unit is a noble cav. How many of these Celtic Iberian cav does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those. So this is a very offensive build. He does have some spears as support to make sure he doesn't get charged, but he has a very heavy base of melee infantry and melee cav. A lot of units to tie things up. My guess is he's going to try and just simply overcome the enemy really quickly. We're going to speed things up a little bit as we look at Swaby. Swaby's front line is Wolf Warriors, Sword Masters, Wolf Warriors, Wolf Warriors, Wolf Warriors, Sword Masters. Okay, so mostly Wolf Warriors, which are these guys here. Slow it down a little bit. These are kind of axe medium melee infantry. They look pretty beastly, pretty tough. These Sword Masters are pretty tough as well. They're a little bit more tanky. Well, they're quite a bit more tanky, actually. 4640, 4215. So these are some really tough units here, these Sword Masters. He does have, it looks like, Germanic Scout Riders, so he has some missile cav there on the flanks. He also has some spear levies, I would guess, on both flanks. Spear levy and spear levy, yes sir he does, and he has some more missile cav. I think some disappeared out here somewhere as well. He also has missile units, Germanic slingers it looks like. He has a berserker unit over here as well, probably trying to bring up the rear. Normally I would give this fight over, and another swordmaster. Normally I would give this fight to the Swaby, but that is a lot of melee cav and a lot of melee infantry to have to deal with, even with some more elite units. This Iberian army is definitely made up of more cheap units, whereas the Swaby army has some cheap units, some expensive units. It's a bit of a more balanced build. Oh, so he's going to go for a... Looks like he's going to full-on charge this guy here with his Celtic Iberian cav. Or maybe he's just soaking up some missile fire, which is not a bad plan, I suppose. Oh, he's going to move his Scuttari in right away. Okay. I know the Scuttari are pretty good with missiles, with their precursor jabs. They're pretty strong that way. Okay, so he is going to wrap this front line up here with his cav. So that's interesting. He's getting rid of the Swaby have good charge, generally speaking, on a lot of their units. So he is taking that out of the factor by closing the distance with his cavalry, and now his Scuttari are moving in as well. Ooh, these berserkers. Tough to kill. He's also catching up to a lot of these cav units. Oh, spear levy. So he's trying to wrap them up really quickly, it appears. Let's see here. Scuttari moving in. Wolf warriors, berserkers. Okay. So the fighting appears to be going in his favor thus far, in Big Hoss's favor. Iberian spearmen are wrapping around these sword masters here. He still has a pretty good contingent of his cav left alive after those original charges, and it worked. He was able to close the distance with his cav, weaken up the front line. Oh, he rage quit. He didn't even stick around to see where this was going. That's quite surprising, actually. The Swaby still had an entire front line. He still had missile troops. I don't think his general unit had died yet. It wasn't completely overwhelmed. Honestly, I still would have thought this was a pretty even game. Swaby still could have pulled this back, I think. It would have been hard. But, alright. So we have one rage quit, and we're going to load the next replay. I'm not even going to bother with looking at the stats for that. So this is the Battle of Carthago. So we have Carthage versus the Arevaci. It looks like he's going for the exact same build he had last time, with the Celtic-Iberian Cav, spears, Scuttari, and his general unit there. Carthage appears to have some hoplites, some melee sword units. Let's go check this out, though. Ooh, this is kind of a cool map. I like this. Normally, all these battles are on really flat, kind of boring maps, which is the most fair and even way to do it. But I like these maps with some features to them, I suppose is the best way to put it. And unfortunately, I can't even see his enemy yet until he gets closer. So we already know the composition of the Arevaci Scuttari build, so we're just going to go... Oh, shit! Okay, so we have some mercenary Numidian cavalry right here at the peak. Some Carthaginian cav as well, 2 of those. Over here we have Carthaginian cav and mercenary Numidian cav. So it looks like his scouting forces have kind of run into each other. The Celtic-Iberian cav are just right over this hill from each other, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. And I'm guessing with this Libyan infantry here that his main body of the infantry will be somewhere in this area, but we'll just have to see what happens. Yeah, I was right. So it's going to start showing up here. There's his general unit, though. A general's bodyguard. Okay, so we have some cavalry fights starting up in here. My guess is that these Carthaginian cav are going to be better than the Celtic-Iberian cav, as far as I know. I could be wrong about that. But he is outnumbered. Carthage's cavalry is going to get caught up by infantry as well as cavalry, but this will tie down a lot of the Arevaci soldiers here. Their entire left flank is now tied up in combat with 2 units of cavalry, so that's not ideal. But he's rushing. Oh, his right flank's tied up here by 3 units of these cav units, including a unit of late Libyan hoplites. It looks like he's just kind of wrapping around what remains of his cav, trying to create as much of a line as he can, but as you can see, he doesn't really have much left to build the line with. If I was... I mean, the Carthaginians do have some Cretan archers, and he does want to take advantage of them, but he also has a lot of infantry that's not tied up, and so if I was him, I would do exactly what he's doing now, but I would have done it a little sooner. I would have started going up this hill, trying to close some of the distances here. Okay, so over here we do have Celtic-Iberian cavalry taking up all of this missile fire, which is not a bad way to go, sacrificing 1 unit for the greater good.
Connection lost.
But we do... Oh, connection lost, apparently. But we do have some of these front lines are forming here. This is the Noble Cav general unit that just crashed these Libyan infantry, and 2 of those. His left flank, it looks like he has won the fight out. There's only a single Libyan infantry left there. His right flank is still fighting against some Libyan infantry and late Libyan hoplites. And he's still got a cav fight kind of going on here. So the fight is going in the Arevaci's favor. He was able to kind of catch some of the Carthaginian troops early on. He does have an uphill advantage. It is definitely necessary to point that out. Carthage is just trying to rally what they can in this area, but both their left and right flanks have fallen. So now it's up to Arevaci. It doesn't look like he's going to try and wrap around this. It looks like he's just trying to send his troops straight in to try and help these fights, maybe come down in there. Carthage is going to kill this Arevaci general, though. That's interesting. So the noble cav is going to die here, I think. I would certainly think so. He's only got 8 out of 60 left. Kind of strange that he did send his general unit straight down into the midst of the hive. He's going to lose that unit, almost certainly. I don't know. He has broken through. He's got some late Libyan hoplites giving him some trouble. But he's trying to punch through and kill these Cretan archers as quickly as possible, because they're doing some pretty good damage here. Where the fighting has gone in the Arevaci favor. There is still some cavalry here, the Carthaginian cav, ready to pull off some charges. The back is just mostly a kind of skirmish fight. These spear units are never, these Scuttari spearmen are never going to catch up to these guys unless they allow them to. He has caught one of them with his Celtic-Iberian cav there, but not sure what's going to happen. Mostly he's just trying to keep them distracted, though, on that right side of the mountain. He is moving some Scuttari around here somewhere, probably to assist in this fight here. And he did just free up 2 more Scuttaris here, so he's going to move them in to probably fill up that gap. And he's bringing some units down here. So now the battle line has shifted from up here to now neatly wrapping around and dealing kind of the finishing blow to Carthage here. It was a pretty bloody fight, though. Carthage put up a decent fight. It's an interesting build. I've never been a big fan of the Scuttari or the Arevaci, the Iberian factions, but it seems like he is playing them pretty well here. This Scuttari is outnumbered by Libyan infantry, by 2 of them, but he is sending 1 Libyan infantry down here to deal with these Scuttari spearmen who are harassing his general's bodyguard. Which are heavy command, doesn't actually even say. Okay. So really this is just a mop-up game now. This is that phase of the game. It is nice that Carthage didn't just give up, though, like the last player. He is actually going to fight this to the end, which I feel like is the honorable thing to do. I know you don't want to waste your time and whatnot, and so I understand certain times when you realize the battle's absolutely over, giving up. And honestly, Carthage isn't completely done. I mean, he still does have some Cretan archers. He's got some Libyan hoplites still in the fray here. I mean, it is just a matter of time until the Arevaci just overcome him. They just won this fight, and then they're going to be able to move in here. Scuttari here, Scuttari here. And then, of course, there's still the battles up here, which the Scuttari are actually losing this fight with the Libyan infantry, which is interesting. So this is another Libyan infantry that's going to be able to join the fight on Carthage's side. But I think it's too little too late. It's pretty close, though. It's still a close match. We have these Carthaginian cav. Okay, so he just basically charged them straight into these 2 units. Yeah, I think he's trying to tie them up. If he can tie these 2 Scuttari up, then maybe he can win out these other battles. Because he's got there's little skirmishes all over the place now. There's no concentrated line, except for maybe something like this. It's just lots of little skirmishes all over the place now. And the Scuttari is just trying to get in there and deal as much damage as he can. It looks like he's gotten himself in amongst the Cretan archers there as well. This was a quick battle. Quick and fierce battle. I need to take a drink. Hold on. Sorry about that. Let's see. This is getting bad. He has gotten these Cretan archers. He's won out this left flank here, so now he needs to start moving things in. Carthage is trying to rally. He's trying to bring his forces to bear into this little fight here, this little skirmish. But his Libyan infantry are fleeing. And so now his general unit is also fleeing, and now the Libyan infantry are fleeing. So this is going to be GG here for Carthage. Congratulations to both Big Hoss and I think it was Joe Cool 4 2009, I think was this player. So congratulations to you both. You both did really well. I liked this battle. It was cool seeing, like, you know, the two armies kind of marching up over the hill, and all of a sudden they're just face to face. Cavalry start charging into the fray, as you can see by all these dead horsemen. The lone dead tree up on the mountaintop overseeing the battlefield. And then the different skirmishes that broke out along the base and sides of the mountain. Really cool fight. Both these units are broken though, so I'm gonna just speed things up so you don't have to sit here forever. I like this battle though. This was a fun battle to watch. I think he's got this group left still to defend, so we'll watch the final charge of the Carthaginian Libyan hoplites. And that's going to be it. The bloody aftermath of Carthage versus the Arevaci. And there we go, costly victory. So Carthage made him pay for all the ground he took, but Arevaci did in the end win. So let's just take a look here. Cavalry did... His noble cav got quite a few kills. The rest of his Celta-Iberian cav, decent kills, but not great by any means. I mean, 25, 35, those are pretty low. His Iberian spearmen, not really there to get kills, more there for support to try and, you know, keep control of the battlefield, make sure cavalry can't sneak up on him, hold units down. That's kind of their responsibility. The Scuttari, though, very interesting to see. 147 kills, 131, 200 kills, 111 kills, 90, 43, 134, 125. Not something I was expecting to see. That is pretty high kills on a on what I consider a subpar melee infantry unit, but apparently they're pretty decent at what they do as long as you know how to use the Scuttari. I'm not an expert on Scuttari use though. Over here on Carthage, his cav did subpar, except for maybe this Carthaginian, 63 kills. His general's bodyguard, subpar. Mercenary Numidian cavalry got a few kills, but other than that, most of them got wrapped up or expended their ammo on units they shouldn't have. His archers did 134 is good, 39-23 not so good. Libyan hoplites did not fare so well. But they're similar to the Scuttari spearmen in that they're more there to hold pieces of the battleground, to keep control of the battleground, try and ward off cavalry charges and whatnot. These Libyan infantry did the best. They were obviously in the fray the longest with the Scuttari, and some of them did really good. 168, 131, 83, 94, 101. So they all did pretty good, the Libyan infantries here, which is interesting to see. Yeah, so that was a good game. I really enjoyed that one. Before I go, obviously congratulations to all competitors in both these matches that we watched. And I would also just like to remind you guys that I am taking anybody's replays. Anybody that has a replay, you can send it in to me. My email address is in the description of this video. You just have to simply save your replay, then send me the file of the replay. Also, do not send me an autosave replay. You need to save it with an actual, name of some sort. The autosaves have some problems because I have an autosave already, so if I jump into it, something goes wrong, then it's gone forever. That's actually what happened to Alexander Powell. He's the other person that's been sending me replays. The last one you sent me was an autosave, unfortunately, and so I loaded it up, and I think my game crashed or something happened, and I had to unload it. And then I played a match, or I can't remember what exactly happened, but anyways, when I went back, the autosave was a different battle of some sort, so sorry that I was not able to show people that battle, but if Alexander Powell, if you are watching this, I would love to do more videos of your replays. Just Next time, save the replay with a name of some sort when you send it to me, and it makes it 100 times easier for me to keep track of and make a video of it. And I would love to do that for anybody out there who has a replay they'd like me to show. Anyways, guys, it has been fun, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.